Yeah, then you got one. Then you, when you think others, and then you see, then you think others. Wow, others not one, numberless, like you, numberless others. Well, numberless. Wow, yeah. People, just you. Oh, down next. You think numberless. Inhaler, numberless inhaler, numberless hunger, numberless animals suffer, numberless, numberless human suffer, asura, numberless, not just one. Lamata. Oh, so yeah, then you feel. If you feel how much you feel that you've been samsara, oh, then you feel so strong, the compassion drives to feel so strong. When you think of suffering, how others in samsara, then you feel a compassion so strong. You see? Yeah. So, yeah, the compassion. Then you want to free. You want to help them to be free from all the suffering, the numberless beings in this realm. Then you want to take the responsibility completely on yourself. Then Bodhicitta comes. Then you talk Bodhicitta to total achievement. Yeah? Yeah. So, you see, not easy. Yeah? So how important, but how it's not easy, but how important it is, most important in the life. Most important in the life. Most important, it's not just one. It's the most important in life. That's, what is the most important than that? For you to help others. That's nothing. But it is not just talking about some nice word, no. Wow, most important, Baba. Most needed, Baba, for happiness of you, happiness of all, every sentiment. So when we generate, but I tell you, when we generate, but it's Changchuki Sen, when we generate, to feel the sentiments from the ocean, from the bring. That includes the numberless helpings in each realm. 8 major heart suffering, they're numberless. They're numberless. The 6 Navajo trail in the world, numberless. Numberless. So, include everyone, not left out even one. Can you imagine if you think well? It's very sentiment, but you really think it's like that. Not left out even one from numberless energy realm. Wow, amazing. Wow, so precious how they told Bodhicitta. So precious. Most important. You have to know this. Then hunger goes. Yeah, out of the great food in the I mentioned past. So numberless. So is it anything look nice, anything green, nice, water, but you're, by looking at it, big poison, pollution, poison, disappear. You see the food is nice, but because you're looking at the pollution, you see like poison, disappear. Like that. So thousands of years, even couldn't find even drop water. Can you imagine? See, if you don't get food one day, how much we suffer? Even suffering not much, but mind. Oh, I didn't get food. You exaggerate. You make yourself bigger. Problem. Your mind make problem bigger. You see, so much of our life problem can be there's no problem. Or there's no something very small. They make very big. You like balloon. They make very big. You see, and so like that. Much of the like that. Remember problems. Hard anything. Balloon. So anyway, what I was saying. Oh, do not forget. What is that? Oh, so yeah. So the animal, okay, animal. When you do Jina Bodhicitta, to do some practice for sentiment, when Jina Bodhicitta, treating lemon. Oh, this is always sentient beings. Sentient beings like that. But never let people around you, animals around you, suffering. You know? Yeah, people in the city that you live in, never think. People have so much problem, never think. Only in the space or sentient beings. See? Yeah. Those sentient beings, where you live in the village, so suffer. Unbelievable suffering. When you see her, you don't think, sentient beings somewhere, sentient beings. So sentient, when you say sentient being, includes every single human being. Nobody is left out. No white man is left, no black man is left out. Not only this world, that number is the universe. Think that number is the universe, not only this world. You didn't see all this universe. No! So, human being, numberless universe, all not left out even one. There's no one human being left out. No! All including sentient beings. Like that. So what about language? What about nationality? Yeah. So you have to know that. So you see, yeah, you go shopping or tourist. I mean, walking or to touring or shopping or whatever. Yeah, people there in the city, they're going by bus, going by taxi, rickshaw, walking there, people in the restaurant. Yeah, in the morning when you meditate, when you do the Mahayana meditation, begin there's a motivation, bodhicitta, after refuge. So that includes all these people that you see. Yeah. So already you have done prayer, you have done meditation for them. Yeah. Yeah. So everybody who has 1 mile or more, what about you? You did. Yeah. The people around you, people who are helping you, people who are harming you, include that. You haven't thought, but include it in the water. Sentient beings there. Not left out. Even you don't like, even normally you never do for that person, but of course the sentient beings included, yeah? 1 mile, whatever you drink, yeah? Even you're eating one spoon of food, or drinking this food done for them, yeah? So in the morning with the meditation for example, so you're all done. So that includes, yes, and all the people around you, I mean your parents, your children, and yeah, I mean, Yeah, your enemy, your friend, your strangers, enemy who you don't like, whom you're always angry, or who always angry, or complain, or include all that. But even though you hate him, you don't have anything, you abandon him. But it's only but it's included, yeah. So you see, then all the people in the city where you're living, yeah, all day long you see people, everything. Yeah, you have done you have done practice for them. I want to be, even I want to be whatever. But that you see, you'll do. It's done. That was done for them. All the people that you see, you go outside, you see people. Yeah, in the city or mountain, whatever, you see anything, any animal, deer, tiger, one attack another one, eat another one, all that. You have done for everyone. You see, just giving example. You say, Mala, or even have, or whatever. So, with the Bajin, Buddhism, after refugees in Buddhism, you have done. Yeah, that's, yeah. So, everyone, to every single animal. Papa, so that means every single being in the ocean, large like shark or like wild, small, I don't name, in the water, in the river, in the ocean, I don't name, small. So everywhere there's insect, in the forest, in the bushes, plants, trees, every tiny insect that a human being don't see, yeah, and the earth is included. Nobody is left out. No one insect is left out. There are how many thousand different ants? Yes, scientists said, I don't remember that. Yeah, I've written down, but I don't remember. There's a number of thousand ants, including everything. No one ant left out. No one mosquito is left out. Only generally Changjuki said, Bodhijira. You have to know that. It's just business. This is something you don't think of the people, so much suffering, whatever they do, the animals suffer, eaten by it. You don't, when you say something, you never think, you never recognize that these ones whom you did practice, never, and just sentiment. But only you never think sentiment. Whom you did the practice. Yeah. Then think you can't have them, you can't do anything like that. Yeah, not even pray for them. Even how much you see them suffering. Like that. Even you can pray, you can help, but you don't do. The thought doesn't come to help. Even you have Om Mani Padme. Wow, there's so much of what you can do, but you don't do. The thought doesn't come. The thought to help doesn't come. How much you see them suffering? Like they have to suffer. They have to suffer, like that. Or some Western people say, it's nature. It's nature. the cat eats mouse. I mean, the one animal eats another animal. That's nature. You can't have nothing to help nature. That means when you suffer, don't have no doctors. Nobody should help you because it's natural. Yeah? Live it yourself. Yeah? Yeah. So this is natural. You're suffering. Your depression, all you need psychology, all you need all those things. You don't go to see doctor. The nature, yeah, so it's the same thing. But your case, never think, only other people. Only other animals. Oh, the nature. Oh, this cat is mouth. You know, I mean, the snakes are eating the mouths of them. I mean, but however, you know, people are killing animals. The nature, they eat meat with the nature, so that. So then you let yourself, oh, you need help, oh, you need help so much, please help me, please. But that's time you don't in nature. So funny. When it comes to you, you're in nature. That time you think nature, then you get angry. You see? But that time you don't. Only others. So funny. So anyway, so bodhicitta, then every single human being can understand every single animals, insects, tiniest. It includes everything. Nobody is left out. No mosquito, no one insect, tiniest insect. No one is left out. So important, so important. To the total achievement for the benefit of. Wow, how that is best! How that is best! Doing every single action, body, spirit, mind, for him. Wow, how that is best! And you see, there is nothing lively, best, happiest. Like that, you have to know what is the happiest life. Not just drink alcohol, drugs, like this, destroying yourself. Oh, no, that. Sorry. Oh, climb the Mount Everest. Avalanche can have anything. You get lost. Anyway, so bodhicitta, Namacha, so all the symptoms, suffering, obscure suffering. So good. So good. So you have to recognize like this. So when you meet people, so you're doing practice. If you're doing mantra, I mean, you're doing your family. Yes. And you're doing your enemy. If you harm you, then, if you don't know, but you're doing it. You don't recognize it. So numberless sentiments. Oh, the sentiments. Not left after even one. Can you imagine? You have to recognize. That. So you go to Kathmandu. So you have to recognize. You do. Yeah, you did Amaripemo, you did. Yeah, all this with the bodhicitta for these people. You did. Yeah, you did. You're doing now. You see? You have to recognize. So that is good. So you enjoy. So you don't see your life as meaningless. You don't see your life as totally useless. You know, you don't do that. So you see how your life is meaningful.